All right. We are back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave. I'm your host, Mark Pierce. It is Sunday. You know what that means? It is Slowdown Sunday. Grab your cup of coffee and let's see what we're talking about today. We had a birthday this week. Pretty big birthday. Neil Young turned 76 years old. Happy birthday to Neil. If you guys recall season one of the Rock Cave Song of the Day, I tended to do like an artist retrospective career, everything, just like vomit everything out, because I thought maybe I was only going to do this for 1 year. And so I would, especially like I think of my episode on Bob Seger. I think I just named all 35 Bob Seger songs that I like. So when it became apparent that I might do this for just a little bit longer, I started trying to break that down so that we could cover more artist stuff throughout the year and not have it just be one episode so I could go back and do it. So, but today is a little bit different. So we're doing a birthday and we're going to kind of keep in line with that. And it's Slowdown Sunday. So we're going to talk about his songs and whether or not you're a fan or not. Now, first and foremost, we're huge fans of Neil Young in this house. Myself, my father-in-law, my brother-in-law, and we just have a huge appreciation for his music. It wasn't always that way. Growing up, of course, in the 1980s, I was doing my thing with my modern rock and all that stuff, and it was tough. His voice was tough, right? It was like, so good, but yet so bad. I don't know. That's how it kind of felt. And then his 80s stuff was a little bit of a struggle for me musically. And so I think he had one song that he put out, like he did a 1950s album, if I remember correctly. I can picture, wasn't it Neil Young and the Shocking Pinks? I think he did something funky there. But anyway, that was an MTV music video, which if you know Neil Young, he just isn't into all that stuff, right? He's just not into that commercial stuff. He wants people to hear his music as it's intended, live and in good audio format. So he basically had in the 1980s, started thinking about, well, really in the late 70s, how he would do that. And in the 1980s started this like project thinking about how he would do an archive project, and had a vision for that. And finally now, all these years later, you can go to his website. It's a subscription paid service, but he's basically divided it up into time frames of his career, and then performances, so you can hear whole concerts from specific tours, and then the special unreleased area where there's stuff that you wouldn't ever have heard before, and it's all streaming in high-end audio. That was always his thing. He didn't want to break his music down and have you just listening to it terrible quality on your iPhone. That's just the way he wanted his music preserved. I was introduced to him for the most part. Yeah, I had heard like the Rock Block Weekends and heard the same 3 songs or whatever, but I started getting a little bit into him, and I bought the greatest hits called Decade, which was a 2 CD 35 song greatest hits, originally put out in 1977 on vinyl triple album. A 2 CD came out, of course, in the 80s, and I started listening to that, and I was like, wow, I guess I'm a fan of Neil Young. He wouldn't put out another greatest hits for like over 30 years, not until 2004, and so I've seen him in concert, and I saw, enjoyed his music that way. Let's talk about some of his songs, because we're at 4 minutes already. But if you're talking about him and singing some slower songs, he's got a ton of them. Down by the River, of course, one of my all-time favorites, and just love that song. Of course, Cowgirl in the Sand. After the Gold Rush, one of the first songs I ever loved by him. Only Love Can Break Your Heart. If you don't know The Needle and the Damage Done, that's another one that's just, it's haunting, but it's a pretty amazing song. Old Man, of course, Heart of Gold. I mean, we all know these. Harvest Moon. And then on this CD box set was Down to the Wire, was an unreleased Buffalo Springfield song with Dr. John. And then when I listened to this record, I'm like, I guess I'm a Buffalo Springfield fan, because a lot of their music out of there came out of there. Burned. These are songs, if you don't know, you need to listen to. Burned, Mr. Soul, Broken Arrow, Sugar Mountain. Love Sugar Mountain. A Man Needs a Maid. So many good songs. And then, of course, later, Harvest Moon. There was You and Me, and From Frank to Hendrix. So there's a lot of stuff out there from Neil Young for you to listen to. And it's just, maybe it's hard because there's so much material, you don't know what to do. But if you pull out Decade, I don't know if it's streaming or not. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But check those songs out. He's pretty cool. My father-in-law Ferg, he's a big fan. He has a bumper sticker on his truck that says, "What would Neil Young do?" Right? It's pretty cool that way. So anyway, you guys fans of Neil Young? You like his music? I want to hear below. Have you seen him in concert? Do you listen to his stuff? Or do you go back to Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young? We didn't even touch on that. But we're going to be streaming and listening to Neil Young all day today in honor of his birthday. And that's your assignment. Should you take it and accept it? All right, that's your Slowdown Sunday. What's your song of the day, Mark? How do you even pick a song of the day? And I didn't even get to some of the live stuff. I mean, we didn't even get to Don't Let It Bring You Down and his live at Macy Hall CD. And there's just a ton of stuff on there. So we're going to do Don't Let It Bring You Down as song of the day, because that's Annie Lennox did an awesome remake of that, but that's a good one. So that's your song of the day today. Give it a listen, and as usual, we'll catch you on the flip side.